understood, on the ride on our rivals. They can't stop us now, but go ahead and try though. All they gonna feel is the pain inside. Ho, foes get land.
So I'm back with another one. I'm gonna hit you guys with some song hole music history, money, and this is people that I know personally, that I grew up with and whatnot, right? I'm gonna hit you with some of that shit. Before I continue, hit the like button, sub if you think that, you know what I'm saying, you can fuck with my channel and whatnot, and I appreciate all the new subscribers and all my old subscribers, and a lot of people from Sanho that follow me, you're probably familiar with MR.21 and Criminal Records and whatnot, right? But those that are not, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to hit you with a little bit of history. Now, Criminal Records is a label that started up, I believe, in the late 90s. And I think that they pushed out this album, The Most Hated. Now, The Most Hated, that's what we were the most hated on the West Side, our neighborhood. So that was one of the reasons why he named this album The Most Hated. And as far as the Dos Equis, this album right here is a classic. You know what I'm saying? It's a classic, money. And I know you've heard me talk before. I know you've heard me talk before about Hector and about MR.21, and you know, the motherfucker didn't take me to the studio money till after I came out with my own album, and I opened up my own studio and started doing my own thing. But you know, besides any of that shit though, money, Hector always been a solid dude, money. You know what I mean? Like I said, he worked at the YMCA, and he used to let me go in that motherfucker, play basketball, work out. I didn't even have a membership, G. And Hector was a mad hustler, money. He was the mouthpiece to Criminal Records. He's the vato that, you know, did all the networking, money, and like I said, he had a good mouthpiece, and he was a hustler, money. So I wanted to hit you guys with that today. I wanted to hit you with the fact that Hector, like I said, was solid. You know what I'm saying? As far as the rap win and all that kind of shit. Like, I know this guy. This guy, he has a song called Warzone. And there's a song called Dusted, and there's a song called City of Sharks. Now, Warzone and Dusted, I believe they're both on this Most Hated album. And then the City of Sharks is on Mexican Phobia. Now, on the City of Sharks, you know, he gives mad ass salutes to Barrio Mas Locos, to, you know, motherfucking gangsters, Capital Park, Bahamas, West Side Mob, Horseshoe, the homies from the North Side. He just names all the barrios when he in this song called City of Sharks that's on this Mexican Phobia. Don't get it mixed up with the compilation that he has out called City of Sharks. I'm on that one right there too. You know, check out his catalog, you know, and whatnot, right? But like I said, let me break down, like, cause I didn't even know Hector and them were even rapping, money. And Traficante, Tommy, they're all from the West Side right there, homie. Virginia, Alma, all that shit. The war zone. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's known for, because it was an area, even the cops even named it the war zone, because even on the East Side, like McLaughlin, where, you know, there was a lot of tit for tat and a lot of, you know, it was mixed barrios right there when it comes to Southern gangs and the Norteños that originated in Sanjo. There was a lot of beef over there también. But on the West Side, we were just so close in proximity that, you know, even the cops, you know, had called it the war zone in that area. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was labeled as. And anyhow, because he has a song, like I said, called War Zone. Check it out, man. And Dusted's about the little ones, Leños, PCP. You know what I'm saying? Because we smoked that shit a lot on the West Side during this era. You know what I'm saying? The 90s, late 80s, early 90s and all that shit, right? And a lot of homies from the video pushed that shit as far as selling it, slanging it, moving it. You know what I'm saying? I did it too. You know what I mean? And so these two tracks, like I said, check them out. That's from this album, Dos Equis, The Most Hated. Then check out that one track, City of Sharks or Mexican Phobia, if you want to hear this. Like I said, Hector was not a bad rapper, man. He had some cool lyrics, and he had a cool flow. And it was different than the rest of anybody else that was doing shit in Sanjo at that time. At that, you know, as far as that timeline goes, during that period, his style was different than anybody else's style on any other label. Because there was other labels, homie. Like I said, you had the double, the 007 Goon Squad, and they had a badass track called 211 to 187. Then you had Crazy Times with Killer Sharks. You know, check out Killer Sharks clothing line. You know, dudes, Roy's cool ass people too. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about Hector, MR.21, and Criminal Records, and how they came out. You know, you had players like Fada J, you had Skrilla Mac, you had Tech Pot. You know what I'm saying? You had let me see who else was Bastard. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like I said, you have Tommy, that's Traficante. You know what I'm saying? And Traficante is a solid ass vato too, man. This dude is the one who did the graphics. Not the drawing, but the graphics, you know, on my album, What Goes Around Comes Around. And then recently, in I think 2014, He had did the graphics, redid the graphics for me again for the Forget About It album. You know what I'm saying? That I had put together back in 2004, 2005, before I went in and did the, before I got busted for those 10 years. And fucking Hector, like I said, Hector's a mad hustler, man. This Vato, like, he knew how to hustle. He had a good mouthpiece. He was the host at Platinum. Platinum is a club in San Jose that it was a gang club, money. Like every gangster that you can think of from Northern Cali will go there on Saturdays. I'm talking about Vatos from Sac, from Salinas, from fucking Oakland, from Stockton, from Modesto to Larry County, like everywhere, money, Madera, all that shit would show up there at that fucking club, homie. Frisco, all that shit, my boy. Santa Rosa, to, do their thing, money. So everybody was in that motherfucking spot, including the motherfucking mob, money. Because like I said, Hector was one of the hosts, and so was Roy from Crazy Time Records. So either one of these dudes would let us in the club with no fucking problem. So I never got searched. I go in there with candies and everything, and no one ever fucking even searched me, money. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy back then. You know what I mean? And like I said, Hector, he lived in the war zone, money, in the war zone, straight up, like across from the CT, with SSP, Canton, and every Southern California gang, moved around that. You know what I'm saying? And you had like that, like it was a war zone, a horseshoe. The mob didn't get along with both Norteño gangs, and then SSP, Canton, and all the other Sureños like 18, because we ran into cats from 18, from Florencia, cats from San Diego, people from fucking Imperial, people from Riverside, people from fucking Dino, from Ventura, from Bakersfield. Everybody was in that area, money. So if you didn't know how to move around in that area like we did, because Horseshoe and us, we were there before they were there, so we already knew the fucking area. And then when they moved into the area, we knew exactly what areas that they frequent on a daily basis, and where was a no-go zone. You know what I'm saying? Because unless you're going there for a purpose and you're gonna go handle your business type of shit, outside of that, you have to know how to move around. I used to go to Hector's house because Hector's house, this motherfucker always had hyenas and all kinds of shit, and his house was the player spot. So they also had hyenas that were other people's hyenas. So and the way I was and the way I've always been is that, motherfuckers know how I am, so they're not going to let me go party with them like that because they already know I'm going to probably say something. So I wasn't really welcomed all the time. But once in a while, I would take a stroll from Alma. I'm by myself, so I feel I'm going to go down to Hector's house. I know they're always partying over there and go kick it for a little bit. And I'd make it to his house, and then they wouldn't let me in. They shut the lights off, the music low, and all kinds of shit. Like, if hella obvious, you know what I mean? So I would get mad at Hector or whatnot. But besides that, and then outside of him, I tried to get into the studio to go rap before I even opened up my own studio and did my own album. I tried to get with him, and he played hard to get and give me the runaround. Not the same that he would have never taken me, because he had taken me after I did my album to their studio with TechPot, and TechPot had a badass studio. You know what I'm saying? But Hector always been a solid dude. I was with Hector in 91, 92 in the Boys Ranch. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he's a cool vato, money. You know what I'm saying? And his style of rap ain't bad at all. I mean, he had, like I said, he had a different style. And this album is probably one of the hardest albums that came out of Soho as far as Chicano rap, and that, like because the origins of Chicano rap is from Southern California. And a lot of vatos from up north, they don't have that real Chicano rap stilo. They have more of like the Africano hip hop stilo. You know what I mean? So Hector, when they came out with that real Chicano stilo. You know what I'm saying? That you would hear it in Southern California. You know what I mean? And but on some norteño shit. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the album all the way around, this album right here is tight as fuck. Like I still fuck with the album. You know what I mean? Straight up. And I wanted to represent, money, for the West Side, because like I said, all these vatos are from the West Side. Bastard, fucking Hector, fucking Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Fada J, TechPot. And TechPot, yeah, TechPot was the engineer. I think Fada J too, money. Even Tommy fucked around as far as engineering goes. Hector was the mouthpiece. Not only the main vato, that he had a good style, and he had that Chicano cholo style shit and some gangster shit. And the rest of the homies, and so did Tommy. Tommy had that gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that these vatos weren't like real street hitters or nothing like that, money, but they were around, and they did what they had to do when they had to do it. You know what I'm saying? If I remember Hector and them during summer school, money, I think they took all the homies from Willow Glen to Pioneer, and there was a big ass riot over there because Pioneer was majority Southsiders at that time at that school, and Willow Glen had a lot of Norteños, especially from Horseshoe and Westside Mob, and they went to that school, I guess, for some kind of summer trip or some shit, and straight off the bus, everybody started, it was a riot type of shit. So Hector and them, they do what they gotta do if they gotta do it, but they weren't like some haters from the streets. I'm not putting too much on them or nothing like that, money. I'm just saying Hector was a good businessman. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just surprised that they didn't keep criminal records going. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they could have. I think right now they'd still be one of the biggest or top labels in San Jose, but I don't know what happened because they didn't have more Criminal Records and these other labels that kind of fell off. There's a bunch of new motherfuckers coming out, you know what I'm saying? And they don't even have like big labels, none like that. There's no big labels in San Jose, none like that anymore, you know what I'm saying? But when Roy had Crazy Times and Hector had Criminal Records, these were two of the bigger labels in San Jose. I'm not saying they were big like, I'm not saying that they were big like Sick With It Records or Get Low Players or, you know what I'm saying, none like that, not even close, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying they had a lot of artists and they were pushing out a lot of albums, you know what I'm saying? And they were doing their thing. And like I said, Hector, I think he got a lot further money if because he came in at the shit end of the old school game. He wasn't able to get into the game or left the game when all this YouTube and everything started popping as far as social media, because I think that he would have got a lot further if he would have continued and did a lot of music videos. I think he'd be a lot, you know, he'd have more recognition. And don't get me wrong, I don't take anything from him. He's well recognized as far as the music game in Soho. You know what I mean? A lot of vatos know who he is. And, you know, as far as Mr. 21 goes and Criminal Records, like I said, they were a bigger label. You know what I'm saying? The most labels, they were coming out of San Jose during that time period. You know what I mean? But go check out this guy's fucking music, money. Go check out this whole catalog, money. Like I said, you got Faded J, you got Tech Pot, and they all had, you know, they have that backpack rap, hip hop rap, and then, like I said, Hector and Traficante combined, you know, were on some gangster shit, money. And like I said, you Dusted and Warzone, I like those two tracks, money. The City of Sharks, like I said, that's on some straight gangster shit. And it's all about unity on that fucking track. You know what I'm saying? It's not dissing nobody. Straight unity shit. And like I said, Hector, his stilo and the way he rapped, money, he was on that, you know, real Chicano shit, money. And he really was a lot different than a lot of rappers in that time period. And like I said, this album is probably one of the tightest albums coming out of Soho. As far as gangbanging goes, you know what I'm saying? It's probably one of the tightest ones outside of my album, What Goes Around Comes Around. And I'm not just saying that because it's my album. I'm just saying I'm one of the first ones to come out with an album in Soho that had to do with straight set tripping and gangbanging, you know, calling out hoods and disrespecting other barrios and all that shit. No one was doing that shit, you know what I'm saying, back then. Now they do all over Chicago and everywhere else, but back then no one was really doing that, you know what I'm saying? Rappers are diss rappers, but I was dissing whole hoods on my album and everything, man, like straight, you know, fuck everybody type of shit, you know what I mean? So, and that's back in 2003, 2004. But like I said, when I got out the Pinta, money, the first time I heard this shit, like I said before, I didn't know they were rapping. And then I just happened to get out. We ended up going to this fucking canton over there on the east side, off of East Hills, and I go up in the motherfucking, you know, in the house, and they're fucking slapping this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a track called Gangstified. Vato that was with us in the boys' band, she's the one who told me that it was Hector. And I'm not even knowing that Hector's even rapping. You know what I'm saying? So I was, like I said, I was hella surprised, money, and it sounded good, especially back then. You know what I'm saying? Because the music nowadays, like I said, the Chicano rap, man, that shit belongs to Southern California, man. That's the hub. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna you have a lot of Chicanos rapping live everywhere now. But you know what I'm saying? Like hitters like King Little G, Drummer Boy, and all those vatos down south, money, that are really making noise. And that's why I said that they're the hub, money. Like there's Chicano rappers up north, money, but they're more on the Africano hip hop style type of shit. Whereas Southern California is more of that Chicano, Cholo, gangster shit. A little bit different, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't taking away from my people up north and nothing like that. I'm just telling you the, you know, the nitty gritty, baby, the real shit. You feel me? And like I said, man, go check out Hector, money, Mr. 21, money. I gave you a little bit of a rundown. I ain't gonna over exaggerate and put too much on it and none of that kind of shit. Like I said, the good people, money, Traficante, like I said, you know, he did a lot of shit for me, money, as far as my album goes, the inside panels of two of my albums, What Goes Around and the Forget About It. You know what I'm saying? I want to send mines and much respects and love to these motherfuckers that, you know, laid down the foundation for the West Side and put these albums out. And like I said, you know, before these vatos came out, you had MC Twist, you had other vatos and shit. But like I said, Hector and them, they came out with their own stilo, it was a whole different thing, baby. It was on point. And like I said, I want to send my shout outs to these people, and I ask that you go check out their music, money. You know what I'm saying? I send mines. Gracias.